Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. I tell you, I love that opening theme. It is just so cute, isn't it? I mean, I don't know, it gets me all up in it. You know what I mean? One more time. Dun 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 dun. I think it's the dun 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 that gets me. Every time I hear that dun 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 dun, it's just like I feel like something big is about to happen. And then next thing you know, it's just me hemming and hawing and trying to find my slides and if only I could rise to the occasion. You know what I mean? I get excited for you. I'm just like, ooh, y'all, something big about to happen. Only for me to get on there and this ain't working and the microphone then went out again. If only I could rise up to that music, I would feel so much better for you all. But until then, we just have to hem and haw and this and that and uh what's the name of that thing? Who knows the name of that thing? You know what I'm saying? That's more my speed. The whatchamacallit and the whizzy wuzzy and all those scientific terms. Olive Perry, thank you for being first to Royal Sussex, and happy Thursday to you. Anyway, I do the best I can. Y'all know that. But one of these days, everything is just going to be picture perfect. Uh, one of these days. Okay, I'm not going to be on that long. I don't have a whole lot for you all, but oh, thank you, Joyce Anderson. You're too kind. But yeah, I'm not going to be on that long. I just wanted to share this magic moment of Willie Leaks getting his. Oh, poor Willie. I don't know what's happening to that guy. He just can't get a break. He just can't get a break. That is the only, well, actually, there's several of them. Um, but yeah, I was going to say that's the only rich white man I know that can't get a break. But they all get a break. But they complain about everything. Um, like, of course, the next president of the United States has got to be one of the biggest victims that ever lived. Hey, Connie Bumper, Mackenzie, Mary H. Let me see, Daffodil, Brenda Gray. Um, who else is here? Joya Moore. Okay, let's get into it. Um, Kaiser of Celibacy. Oh, we're going to get to the booing and hecking very soon. Heckling, that is. But Kaiser Celibacy just kind of dropped this in our lap. What do you know? Graham Smith of the, here I go, Republic. Graham Smith of Republic. He has been trolling that clan, that family. Why do I keep calling them clan? Every time I turn around, I keep calling them clan. I mean family. They're not a clan. They're the firm, right? They're a family and also a firm. They are not a clan. I don't know why I keep slipping and saying that, but y'all know I don't mean nothing by it. Anyway, that family, firm, William, they just can't seem to get a break. Well, he called William out for something that everybody has been aware of for about 20 years or more, and that is laziness. He called him out for being lazy. He also called Kate out for being lazy. Just so you guys know, he's not only picking on William, he also called out Kate for being lazy when they said Kate had that meeting. And I do believe it was when Kate supposedly had that meeting, the one in which there were no records taken, no minutes or anything like that. We just had to take their word for it. Well, anyway, this guy, he's not so forceful. He's not so in your face, but was he a journalist or something before? All I know is that he says what he means and he means what he says, and they cannot handle it. You want the truth? I'll tell you the truth. You can't handle the truth. That is very much his speed these days. So let me play that little soundbite for you. Republic. There we go. Is this it? Nope. Oh, come on. Where is lazy? Oh, you know what? I think it's on his own personal page. Let me find that. Graham Smith. By the way, you guys, people are jumping ship from Twitter. I had to sign up for that Blue Sky or Sky Blue or whatever the name of it is. I had to sign up for that last night. As a matter of fact, I ran into an old friend there. She know who she is. I ran into an old friend there. Hello, Ivy here. Okay. I'm stalling so I can find it. And you know what? I'm not finding it. Okay, give me a second here. Where the heck is it? Oh, the work shy. Oh man. Okay, let me try one more time. All right. Graham. There he is. Came right up that time. Came right up. Oh, you guys, there's this other thing I want to show you, but I don't think I can per copyright. And it is, well, anyway, I will somewhat show it to you. But per copyright, I'm just not allowed to do that. But I will do the best I can to share it with you. Okay, where is this thing? Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's only on YouTube. Never mind. Got it. It's only on YouTube. I don't suppose he would have minded if I shared the video, but I better not take that chance. So I'm already in enough trouble with YouTube. So here goes. Republic. Republic campaign. There we go. And okay, here goes.
Whether it's poverty, climate change, or poaching of wildlife, William is a weapons-grade hypocrite. Have you heard the news? William wants to be a small r royal. No, I'm not sure what that means either, but in terms of work and effort, his R couldn't get much smaller. William has been recently going on about solving the homelessness crisis, painting himself as a leading voice on this issue, despite putting in few actual hours of work. And the other day, he flew to South Africa pumping out a huge carbon footprint so he could catch up with a handful of celebrities and pat himself on the back for saving the environment. But whether it's poverty, climate change, or poaching of wildlife, William is a weapons-grade hypocrite, a tax-funded, tax-dodging multimillionaire who maintains half a dozen palatial homes, lecturing the rest of us on homelessness. Really? In a recent Channel 4 Dispatches documentary, it was revealed William is accused of being a rogue landlord, Duchy of Cornwall leaving tenants living in legally substandard housing for years. His personal £23 million income from the Duchy includes money taken from the RNLI for moving their boats across Cornwall's beaches. And his personal fortune includes money paid by schools, hospitals, and charities paid for the use of Duchy land when the Duchy is a state-owned asset, left to William to treat as a private estate. It's money for nothing taken from the pockets of cash-strapped charities and public services. Yet he tells us we all have to chip in to help those charities end homelessness. Now, how about we take the Duchy back under public control, we tax the royals properly, and we spend the estimated £500 million a year we throw at the monarchy on building homes and helping people out of poverty. William is a work-shy hypocrite. He has a massive carbon footprint, but paints himself as an environmental champion. He fleeces the poor for profit while lecturing us all on homelessness. And while he berates Africans on poaching of wildlife, he enjoys nothing more than hunting back here in the UK. And you wouldn't vote for him? We shouldn't have to put up with him. We deserve better. It's time to abolish the monarchy. It's time for a fairer Britain. It's time we changed the country for good.
Wow. Wow. Did you guys hear that? Did you hear that? Oh my goodness. Woo. Oh man. Well, he said what he said. That was as to the point as you could possibly get. This Royal Rhoda darling, William, who is not used to such combative language being used, such disagreeable language as they're able to suppress most people, that was as honest as could be. And the work shy, I tell you, that was definitely getting to the root of things. Is how do you justify? How does one justify that incredible amount of expense on the British taxpayers for someone who rarely works? And this whole small R royal, oh, that is going to come back to haunt him. The small R royal, not to mention the fact that it has been said that William has made everything about the South Africa trip about himself. It had so little to do with the winners, so little to do with them. And was this yet another one of those occasions where they weren't even invited? They were not even invited. I'm going to tell you, depending on where you're coming from, sometimes it's more expensive to get to places that are incredibly inexpensive to visit and very cheap to get to places that are, moderate or, cheap to visit. That's been my experience, but, recollections may vary. But whatever you're thinking right now, he went there. He went there. Okay, so I just wanted you to hear that. Now, watch as Prince William greeted by boos as he arrives at Worcester University. And also a demonstration of being out of touch again. There's Charles. This was, of course, in the Scott National. They could not have an article like this in the Mail or the whatever. It would take a while before they would allow something like this to actually fill their pages. They're very slow, and when they do, it's not really a big story. They try to hide it. But the royal family has been branded out of touch after Balmoral launched an online shop selling upmarket products, including a tartan throw that will set you back almost 1,000 pounds. Who are they selling that to? Some Saudi prince? So, someone who's going to sit a Folsom and Mason bag of cash on the counter? It's not like that hasn't happened before. Uh, so William is in Northern Ireland. He's in Belfast at the Ulster University. That's where he was. And I'm telling you, if you could have saw how fast that man was flying out of that place, I was embarrassed for him. You know, with everything going on, the winter is about to set in, and yet another winter in a drafty, moldy, dank, breezy, drafty house. Not, of course, William, but his tenants. I don't know which one was brave enough to come forward, but certainly not William, but his tenants. Whoever came forward, they really should do a GoFundMe for that person because they may be in need of housing soon, anyways. But so let me cut to the chase here. Well, let me go to this. While he was inside, William, while people are using food banks at an all-time high rate, probably the most since World War II, I'll say that, when people were using those ration books. He's in there playing, filming and movie making and stuff like that. How many ways can you try to be like your brother? I just don't know. How many ways can you attempt to be your brother? I mean, this is not just getting unhinged, it is unhinged. So, let me see which one came first. I'll do this one. I'll do this one. What? What? One more time. And what I love are the commuters in the background, the people that are going about their day and could give a rat's behind that there's a royal. They don't even want to know which one. Or maybe they do know and they're still just not interested. But the people who had some things to get off of their chest, they were very vocal about it. I mean, he couldn't get in there fast enough, could he? Well, I mean, I could understand why he was moving fast because he can go inside and play room room motorcycle room room. Look at me, ma. I'm on my motorcycle. Vroom. Hey, Dad, no hands. Vroom. Right? He gets to be a kid again. Look at me, no hands. Um, One of the things you learn as a royal is when to do things like that and when not to do things like that. And right now, when everybody is, you know, coming for you, that is a bad time to look like you're enjoying yourself. This is why I said yesterday, I believe that Christmas Carol is a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea. It shows elitism. It is invitation only. And even if you give out tickets to people in charities and volunteers, the people up front, the people of means, not to be mixed in with the general population, is the royal family and the people that they're closest to. It just, I think it's not the right look for Christmas this year. It is not. Kate and William are living the town and country lifestyle of the rich and famous. And nowadays, with the 24-hour news cycle being what it is this really the best time to live the lifestyles of the rich and famous? Making a big mistake. Making a big mistake. By the way, make sure you hit the like button or thumbs up. That's how we keep the lights on around here. Your engagement makes this channel very successful. So do that. And if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe, even if you hate watching, even if you can't stand the sound of my voice. Subscribe anyway. Okay? All right. Now, let me go to this. Well, actually, you know what? Before I move on, let me show you the other video. Oh, yes, there's two of them. There was two. That was William arriving. And then, of course, there's William making his hasty exit. And I do mean hasty. I mean, he got out of there with the quickness. He almost pulled one of those hoghead Pierce Morgans. He nearly set a land speed record for a mammal on 2 feet. Okay. Ready for it? Here goes. Okay. Well, there you have it. I mean to tell you, it's just like when he went, this was much louder and more vocal than South Africa. When he went to South Africa, William, you have no sovereignty in our country. There were about, I'm going to say that crowd was about 50-50. He had plenty well-wishers, and then, of course, there were plenty of people there to protest. So much so that he had to use a rear exit. They didn't want him to come out the front. They didn't want any more embarrassing footage, and it was quite embarrassing. And the reason why I just don't feel the least bit of sympathy is because the tabloid media, they start a campaign against Meghan. Are you going to boo Meghan if she come over? Are you likely to boo Meghan? Right? That is a tabloid newspaper, a newspaper just the same. A newspaper with all of the protection of freedom of speech and such, you use it to troll a member of the royal family who just happens to be the only Black member of the royal family. And then you always look shocked. You, the writers and the editors and such, you look shocked when people say, don't you think you're being a bit racist? I mean, if you consider the coverage that has been received from day one, and those same people are writing for those papers. So even if they're not using the most racist and discriminatory language, if those same people that have used race in the past get to keep their jobs and they get to change their tone, but they come up with something equally as negative, then you don't get a free pass for that. You just do not get a free pass. And of course, footage of William being heckled by groups of anti-monarchy protesters on Monday as he arrived at the Commonwealth Day service at Westminster. Did you guys forget that happened with Kate Middleton? has gone viral after being uploaded to TikTok. I mean, they lit their behinds up walking up in that place. William and Kate attended the annual service celebrating the relationship between the 54 independent nations of the Commonwealth alongside King Charles III, Queen Camilla, the Queen Consort, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, Princess Anne and her husband, Sir Timothy Lawrence, a group of activists from the anti-monarchy collective Republic turned up at the event holding placards reading, "Not my king," as the royals and Charles pulled up to the Abbey. And the thing is, some of it was very personal. People were saying, "You're next, Willie. We haven't forgot about you." And then, if I recall, one of them even yelled, "You'll never be king." So he hears it, he feels it, and he's not pleased. But again, because he tolerates or encourages or participates with the tabloid media with this attempt to destroy his brother, I don't have sympathy in me, because you have done Willie, William, you have done some terrible things in your day to your own brother. This plotting and scheming, trying to destroy his marriage, allowing one of your courtiers to try to damage Meghan's chances in that lawsuit against the Daily Fail. Even Dickie Arbiter said there's no way that happened without William and Kate's consent. That there's probably still some type of contract between employee and Knopf, Jason Knopf, and whatever that is, that non-disclosure was voided for the time being, or whatever it was. I don't care whether Harry and Meghan are the worst people in the world. Jason is the flipping help. Christian Jones is the help. All of those people that were given the green light to go after Meghan, all of those people that got that green light are employees. And I don't care what the circumstances. You don't take your employee's word over your own blood brother. Who does that? The other thing I'm wondering who does that, who put that little pink bow or barrette on his head? Anybody know? Somebody saw that little fuzzy hair. Maybe Charlotte did that. Saw that little fuzzy hair and thought it just wasn't complete. So they put that little bow on it. That's kind of cute. He's so masculine, I don't think anybody else could rock that but him. He may have started a new trend, putting a little bow on your fuzz, on your almost non-existent hairline, your pre-turkey cosmetic surgery hairline. Yeah, it's adorable, isn't it? Anyway, so there you have it. William with his biodegradable. Hey, VS Speaks Royally. Thank you so much for being here. And I haven't seen Ivy anymore. Is Ivy still here? Hello, Ivy here. Anyway, Prince William's moldy, hard to heat royal rentals that don't meet standards. They just don't meet standards. I mean, look at the state of these places. You know, they do have windows that you can swap out that have double and triple pane glass. It saves a fortune. Otherwise, heat is just evaporating out of the house. And of course, if the window frames are ajar, and you know how they can have that draft, there's some very simple things that you could do that can save the consumer hundreds of pounds a year. And it sounds like he's not interested in doing that. I'm afraid that the world has latched on to the real William. And whereas they knew he was kind of rotten from the book Spare, because people believe Harry's side of the story, they know that what he was saying was true. Even if Ingrid Seaweed, or was it which one of those royal reporters was asked the question, well, what did Harry do? What did Harry do to provoke him? Oh, don't even go there. Don't even go there. Anyway, let me continue. And so there they are, father and son, Icarus and Darius. Icarus, having more experience, according to the Greek mythology, Icarus had more experience, but his son Darius was a bit of an amateur. And so they both had wings made of wax. And so he told his son, he said, listen, fly all you want, but don't get too close to the sun in the sky, because your wings will soften and you can get hurt. And did his son listen to him? And what happened? He went plummeting to the ground, flat, splat, and stuck like that. So it is a tale of experience. That's what it's about, experience. So Charles, as much as he gets on my nerves, as much as I have some feelings about the way Diana was treated, I have to say, for the most part, he does a great job of managing his public relations. I mean, Camilla was not supposed to have any kind of acceptance, but after all the years of plotting and scheming, it appears as though everything has gone their way, especially Camilla, especially Camilla. So, got another soundbite. This guy right here, his name is the Champagne Socialist. He is, I mean, this guy is just amazing. I really like the way he just cuts through all of the nonsense and he takes you there. It's like watching a performance, the way he is able to articulate his message. Uh-oh, what happened?
Open to food distribution.
Okay, here goes. Retties?
Stuff like this just sums up what's wrong with the UK. Keen to open 2 food distribution hubs to mark 76th birthday. First of all, they're called food banks. Second of all, why is the king opening food banks being treated as a cause for celebration? Food banks exist because the state has failed in its duty of care to its citizens. And to give you an idea of how big that failure is, we have more food banks than branches of McDonald's in this country. Now, that should be a source of national shame for any government, apart from the last Tory one, whose economic and social measures saw the Trussell Trust go from operating 50 food banks in 2010 to 1,699 in 2024. That right there is what a Tory government does in power. But the reason the royal family are doing this is because people are clocking on that they're a bunch of parasites leeching off of public money, as exposed in a documentary that revealed that Charles and William's private estates are charging public services millions of pounds to use their land, and they're not paying tax on their earnings. That's why we see this sort of shameless PR. It's either that or a health scare. Seriously, if the royal family wanted to end food bank dependency, they're sitting on a fortune valued at £21 billion. Put it to good use. Or they could just pay their taxes like everybody else would if they wanted to take part in parasite activities like being a landlord.
All right. Remember, the Champagne Socialist, and he is available on TikTok. And the squatties are just crazy about him. I just love it. I mean, he's just like, is rapid fire. Rapid fire is what's called for in this instance. So, the Duchy of Gruel that shapeless, tasteless nutrition in a bowl that you feed to condemned prisoners and indentured servants, to put it mildly. Um, that's pretty much what's available to most people if they are leasing, renting property from the Duchy of Cornwall or the Duchy of Lancaster. They're not giving a break to anybody. Um, but yeah, please, sir, may I have another? But he's going to mark his 76th birthday by opening 2 food distribution centers. Now, as the young man said, first of all, it is not a food um, uh, hub or food distribution, whatever. It is a food bank. It is for emergency food. For political reasons, they don't want to go there. They do not want to call it what it is. It seems as though it's okay for that to come from any other source, just not the royal family. Anybody else can open up a food shelter, food bank, or whatever, but you just cannot hear the royal family fessing up to the fact that there is great poverty, that there are people that are food insecure and such. They don't want to acknowledge that. The government would rather people not associate any possible gifts, financial gifts from the royal family to whatever cause. But I'll say this: everybody in that royal household went down to that hub kitchen, and nobody ever suggested opening up the kitchen more often using funds from a cookbook written with the recipes of the women of the shelter. That was a stroke of genius. But instead of celebrating um, the Duchess of Sussex, they decided to turn up the heat and run her out the country. That was their response to it. Harry said they missed a golden opportunity. The best possible future that that institution could have included having Harry and Meghan centered to the working royals. And once that was removed, it has been consistently falling apart ever since. Now, this is the video that I would love to show you, but I cannot show you because it's got music, and that's, you know, I might see if I can strip the music out of it. But picture it, them speaking of this shed where they store boats and so on and so forth. As you can tell, it's low tide. Just so you know, I believe it's low tide. But come high tide, you'll be able to, you know, get your boats in the boathouse. Well, I don't know. But whatever the case may be, they are charging. I mean, just look at the captions I was able to screenshot. This is the what is it? The Royal. Oh, actually, is it for boats or for trains? I don't know. But anyway, something goes there. I think it's for boats. And it's it's a lifeboat station. What am I saying? Charging the lifeboat crew here £600 a year. £600 a year. And as they're talking about them charging to park ambulances in a warehouse that the king owns, he's also a patron of that charity. They were speaking of charities that could use a financial break by the estate, the Duchy, or I'm sorry, the Duchy of Cornwall or the Duchy of Lancaster, If you know a charity is in need of office space, if you have a hereditary claim to that land, you could loan that land to them permanently or semi permanent, whatever you want to call it. It's no different than a rich person allowing their paintings to go into a museum, their sculptures to go into a museum, and they put it on a long-term loan. You and your family still owns that painting, but it's on display. And you could do the same thing with this property. Charles and William are billionaires. They do not need the money. Now, some people try to make this excuse that some land manager is just doing his job. If that's the case, then some land manager is doing the king and the Prince of Wales a grave disservice. Not very smart. So, what were they working on? Well, the people that were on the beach were slowly etching this into the sand. Charles, stop fleecing Britain. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Charles. Please stop fleecing Britain. How do you like that? Oh boy. Oh boy. Woo! I'm telling y'all, they are really hitting them where it hurts. This is a PR disaster. This is a PR disaster. And of course, leave it to Richard Eaton. Why Royal Insider fear King Charles is forcing loyal Prince Andrew to do what Harry and Meghan. Are we still trying to squeeze Harry and Meghan into every story? Harry and Meghan are very different from the sick old man, Andrew. What makes them very different is it seems as though Andrew is allowed to just come up with the money and he could stay. Harry and Meghan, flush with cash, were told that your money is no good. I just don't want you here. You got to go. So, what is the comparison? There are no comparisons. If that's the case, then bring Princess Anne into it. Bring that weirdo Wessex. Bring them into it. But instead, they've done everything that have been able to do to make Meghan feel unwanted and unwelcome in that family. Harry, they play this game of will he or won't he come back? Oh, he's at a point of no return. Meanwhile, Harry gave a check to the Crown Estate to cover the cost of restoring the Frogmore Cottage, even though it was scheduled for remodeling anyway. It was already on the schedule. The only difference is one of the royals or a family of royals was moving into it instead of it sitting vacant. So they're very, very inconsistent. There is no equivalency with the Sussexes and Andrew, the sick old man. There is just no equivalency. And I tell you, if I was there, I would call them out on it. There is no equivalency. I wouldn't let them get away with it. So, okay. Okay. Now, pensioner delights at receiving 45 billion, a million, that is 45 million in winter fuel payment. Well, I could imagine that pensioner would be happy. I mean, just singing zippity doo dah all the day until the next cash windfall comes in. I am going to close with this pathetic individual. This just, you know what? It does make me sad. It does make me sad because I'm looking at such a boyish face. I don't know how old he is, but I suppose some of the squatties know. Cameron Roy sounds as Scottish as you could possibly be. Trainee reporter, Mail Online. Now, I don't know if he and his family celebrated that or if he and his partner celebrated that. But whatever the acknowledgement was that you are a trainee at this global phenomenon of a news group, and the Daily Mail is widely read across the planet. Any place where they speak English, the Daily Mail has quite the audience. Cannot take that away from them. But I mean, I wish we could, but for now, it's just a fact, right? I don't like it, but it is just a fact. They have a very broad audience. So this kid, I don't know how much they're paying him, but he's, he's in, which probably means more than anything monetary. Just the acknowledgement that you're a part of something greater, even if what that greater is not so great, is cruel and heartless. So that's what he's doing now. And one of the squatties, or actually, I don't even know if that person is a squatty, but they just said your mother or your parents must be proud that this is what you're doing with your education. I had a screenshot I shared of that yesterday, but I don't want to dig it out right now. But Cameron, on his graduation, his face appears to be hopeful, but he is more inspired to be the next Piers or the sad little man. What a shame. And that's what it is that you have your whole life ahead of you before you allow these people to sour you and turn your disposition to the dark side. Think about what you're writing. By the way, that's my tartan that I use, my little plaid in the background. I use that as a background for these photos, but that's actually mine from Edinburgh, Anyway, you see there? Imagine calling yourself, oh, there it is right there. Imagine calling yourself a journalist. Hope his parents are disappointed and embarrassed for the son, for a son as him, and possibly having paid for his university. And before he wrote the article about Justin Welby, the Archbishop, and his friendship with Harry and Meghan, he wrote another article. I think it was last week. He wrote this article about Meghan and her time at the American Embassy in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So he's gone to the big way back machine and just pull that story out, I guess, as a way of cutting his teeth to show that he can be malicious and even more malicious than the rest of them, I suppose. Whatever the case may be. Maybe he feels like he's on a roll, but I'm going to tell you guys something. They do have, or should I say, he has the article on the right posted on his timeline. But the article on the left side, the much derived article about Harry and Meghan's friendship with Justin Welby, that one you don't see on his Twitter unless it's someplace I cannot find it. Seems like maybe he's had a peak of humanity, like a little sliver of humanity, and maybe he's regretting what he's doing, although I doubt it. We're going to have to keep an eye on this one, but I do hope and I do pray that he understands how awful this part of his career is, and maybe he will leave the mother of two, the only known black in the British royal family. Maybe he'll just leave her alone. Maybe he'll just leave her alone. I hope so. Go back to obscurity, write for your local town or whatever. But I don't imagine that they are paying this young man that much money more than what he was making at his other positions. I just don't believe it. I guess he feels like maybe it's prestigious to write for such a famous news group or newspaper. I don't know, maybe. Let me see. Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah. Whatever the rationale for it, I just think it's such a nasty bit of business. It really is. It really is. And you just see a hopeful future written all over his smug, pathetic face. And instead, you have what was the name? Marie Teresa, whatever name that or Martin Branning. Yeah. Is he going to turn into a Martin Branning? So as you can see right here, Robin Samuel says, another white male using the Duchess of Sussex to get attention reminds me of a younger version of the sad little man. He wrote the article about Archbishop Welby blaming Meghan for his downfall. Okay. So there you have it. Archbishop Welby has stepped down. I believe he is officially stepped down. Charles will likely accept his resignation if he hasn't already. They can both compare notes on what they know about who and how best to keep it quiet. And then this is the absolute last thing right here. Yesterday or last night, I was pointing out the way that I guess this chart was from the Daily Mail, how they were trying to stack William's side up as being more effective as the global statesman and economic warrior. Environmental warrior. However, I just wasn't buying that part about private jets, right? I wasn't buying that part. I'm just like, that doesn't sound right. And so what did I find? Take a look on the left side there. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge flew via private jet to an exclusive holiday island to celebrate a very special occasion. Well, that was in 2019. In July of 2019, Meghan was not really hanging around the family, but her presence was known. Her presence was known. And from what I understand, is that William and Kate used this private jet to hop off and go to vacation. Now, to me, I don't know that it makes much of a difference, as I said yesterday, because they're virtually the same size little executive jet. But I guess it depends on who's paying for it. If you're listening to the Daily Mail, it seems to be important to them that it's a government jet, as though that doesn't produce as much fuel as any other jet. So it was just a bunch of nonsense. But I just wanted to show you where it says very clearly that William when he wanted to get someplace quick and he did not have authority to use their, fleet of government planes or whatever, he was not above renting something to get from point A to point B. So, okay. And especially anything that creates a lot of pollution. And with that, you guys, I am done. And so is Twitter, I hope. Someone created this illustration where it looks like the Twitter symbol is imploding or exploding, whatever it is. The Twitter symbol, as we know it, is probably never going to be renewed again. They're going to, embrace some other style. But it's not our worry. The Twitter itself is collapsing. A lot of people are jumping ship. So who knows how long the Twitter as we know it is going to still be around, or X if you're, just particular. All right. Well, thank you very much. Love you guys. I am going to say cheers for now, or bye from now. Bye from Ivy. Bye. Hey, soul brother. Okay. Yeah, I don't suppose there's any comments I need to see. No. Not really, right? Oh, thank you, Madeline Jones. Okay, bye everyone. All right, cheers. And cue Madam Duchess. Hey, Bunny Rose. Cue oh, by the way, don't forget, I made 2 videos yesterday. Make sure you watch both of those videos. And there is another video that's in the community tab. I watched it. It's only 8.5 minutes long, but it is speaking disparagingly about Willie leaks. So I'm not just saying, oh, go over there so we can watch Willie being dragged. Was that one about Willie or was it about Chucky? It's all running together on me right now. But either way, do consider. It's only 8.5 minutes long, more or less, and it's on the Twitter. I'm not the Twitter, but the community. Let me just grab that link for you, because this guy is an environmental guy, and just saying environmental, I know he was dragging Willie. Baby, my heart is full of love and desire for you. Well, come on, keep doing what you got to do. Okay, I found it. You started this fire down in my soul. But can't you see I'm burning out of control? Okay. I think disco should come back. Needing me. Set me free. Okay. Oh, okay. That's what I need to do. That is, that's it right there. Just need to pin it. There you go. I pinned the link to the top of the chat. Okay, perfect. Right? Perfect. That will take you to that 8.5 minute video. Feel free to watch it now if you choose. I'm all done. I just cannot believe it. They are grilling Willie Leaks and Charles. They are just grilling these guys. And this guy, this video I'm sharing with you right now, he really takes William to task for being a hunter, saying that there's other ways to do conservation. So, very interesting. I loved it. All right, we're good. Yeah, let's pray for the Sussexes. Here, here. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am late. No worries. No worries. We are about to take off, but thank you for the effort. I really appreciate that. All righty. I am ending. I'm just looking at some of your comments. We're done. Love you guys. See you later. I'll probably be back later.